Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Hello, welcome everyone. Thursday, slightly earlier, but still, even a day earlier, and it's Thursday. It's dead. Hmm. And literally, you cannot make this up. Like the entire thing is a simulation. I've been fine the entire week, and today I've been bleeding again. So yeah, that's cool. My tummy hurts. I've been bleeding. So I feel like this is related, or at least stress. Uh, but yeah, we'll see everything. So plan for today is read 10th part on my story. I figured I can do this in a Thursday. Then I will be sure I can make the audiobook part until Monday, so Friday and Sunday. Saturday is free for me. I have some free time for myself. But yeah, maybe we can. I haven't set up it yet. I don't think it will be too difficult, but uh, maybe I can show you what I do to make the audiobook in DaVinci Resolve if you are interested. And if not, it will be another short stream with no watch, and I will just go with my day. I'm very tired. I am literally exhausted. I have no idea why. But maybe constant thinking, editing, and stuff absolutely doesn't like compare to normal physical job. I know I've done this for several years, but I am tired. I feel like my eyes getting puffy. They are black for some reason. They weren't before, but these I noticed now. So yeah, it is what it is. Hmm. But give me a minute. To release the grippers from the scalding hot. Yeah, okay. Short recap of the last part, which was infuriatingly hard to read. Basically, the exercises started. Bale had problem with her catalyst because she's allergic to it. And then the entire premise of the duel between controversial team and Team Amy, I guess, what became more than a plan, with Amy and Jane trying to force Miku into coexisting with Yuki again. Or maybe not really forcing them to coexist or do anything, just to spend time together and have free time away from Bale and see what happens. And it is very visible to everyone outside that it's the entire distance between Yuki and Miku is very hurting Miku. Like, she says she's fine with it, but she's dubiously so. She's not entirely great with it, I'd say. Yeah, also, I feel like the parts when there are massive amounts of dialogues are very difficult to read. And also, I've been working an entire week for my, I'm missing the word. the speed of talking, like the speed of reading as of now. Yeah, I've been told I speak very fast, and I probably have to should slow down when I'm reading something to be more coherent, to read more smoothly, to take more breaks when I see the dot, commas, and everything else. So I can. It will probably be easier for me to edit with that. Then again, it's also the proficiency with reading and unfamiliarity of the entire script. Which is weird because I read it like 30 times. But yeah, I. Let's invite myself to the screen. Hello. I'm here. Oh, actually, let's go here. Okay, yeah, everything is kinda in order, let's say. Few changes to be made so I can actually look in the direction I'm looking. I don't know, I've been really tired. It's rough. I kinda let's take the lore breaker out for a second. It's difficult for me because at this point I have no idea if I am just extremely boring, the thing I am presenting is extremely uninteresting to people, or anything else. But yeah, it is what it is. It's disheartening, and I'm getting tired of being positive. It's, as I said in my short, it's a skill that you can learn to be positive, to not focus entirely on negative parts and everything, but it's getting hard. Like with the Twitter wipe I did a few days ago, I thought I was getting somewhere. I thought I was doing something, putting myself out somewhere, and then it broke everything for some reason. I don't know. And with everything going on currently in the world, the files, and not the files, and bears and not bears, and the controversies. The world is exhausting. It's very tiring. Which is, again, another reason for me to keep going, to keep making the audiobook. Maybe someone will find it interesting to read and will have a fun time. Again, as I spoke yesterday, there are more and more interesting parts. Like this part is explaining many core informations about the entire story, which are quite important and interesting for me, at least. So as always, I would be. Yeah, we are back to Lore Weaver. Uh, you are too big. You're obstructing everything. No. You do not fit anything anywhere on the screen. Huh. That's problematic. Yes? Anyway, let's go to reading chat rate too. Okay, yeah, because I chatted to myself twice. Thank you, YouTube. Also, no, before I do anything, I wonder. But maybe I should try with Twitch, but I hate the platform and hate how weird the rules and everything there is. I literally am so against Twitch right now. It's insane. And probably streaming on Twitch would give me something, at least, but then again, it's a platform that doesn't respect creators, doesn't respect viewers, and does whatever they want to do anything. They don't respect their own rules, don't respect any punishments. Like, nothing is set in stone. As long as you are bringing them money, you can do literally whatever you want, and I'm firmly against it. So I'm still contemplating pros and cons of that decision, like with everything. Like, I'm against licensing all the media and everything, games and books included. But with Amazon, I had the opportunity to make the ebook downloadable, which provides you with the actual physical, kind of physical ownership of the book as long as you download it. And then I'm also providing the same book for free on YouTube, which is another layer that is supposed to make things right. I wonder, maybe... Maybe if I did stream on Twitch without any ads or anything, I'd like Asmon, I could cost them money to upkeep the stream. That would actually not be a bad idea. Next week we'll experiment with that. Why are you hunched all the time to that direction? What is going on? What if I don't know, whatever, I will just be hunched all the time that way. That's absolutely fine. If I ever make any money from this book, I will buy a webcam. Hey, anyway, 5 more minutes of yapping because I'm a absolute yapper. But yeah, let's go to the actual book reading. No recording, please start, thank you. The next morning, Yuki left for the forest around 3 a.m., about an hour before Amy would start her run. Having a pleasant walk, his thoughts were still fully occupied with collecting information from the facility's data center. There is not much left for him to learn, but at this point he was certain he would be ready well before the time ends. While shadows stay away for now, a few changes have been made to the facility's infrastructure that went unnoticed. They weren't big or threatening by any means so far, but it foretold the end of his time here. Arriving at the spot a while after 4, he looked around, forest drowning in glistening early morning mist. Small open field, sound of flowing water coming from afar, a few hollow trees with the bark beaten off. No mistake, this is the place she uses. Mountains, streams, vegetation, and even the ground, all made from appropriate materials on the outside, but reinforced and mostly hollow on the inside. Half an hour later, Amy arrived, seeing Yuki stand in the middle of the field like a robot. "Sorry, did you wait long?" she asked while steadying her breath. "Yes, but you're still before time, so that's on me." Yuki turned around with a delicate smile. "You did a number on this place. I can almost feel the intensity of your training." "Thank you." "So, how can I help you today?" "I don't really know," Amy blurted out while stretching. "I have many questions, and I'm sure there are many more that I don't. I have many questions, and I'm sure there are many more that I don't even know about yet." "I see. Then let me ask you about my question from that day. How do you stop an unstoppable object?" "You don't. You let it go past you," she smiled, clearly proud of herself. "Back in the past, when the military was still primitive, tanks had a special kind of armor. Instead of trying to withstand the force of a projectile, it used an explosion to deflect it away," Amy explained, as if she was reciting her homework. Yuki only released a low hum, thinking about her idea, which made her stressed. "I mean, it's just a theory so far. I'm still working on it." She quickly became flustered over it. "No, you have a pretty interesting idea. Your powers actually work well with it too." He wondered for a bit, making a few calculations in his head. "I can see a few problems, but I will let you figure them out yourself." "Such as?" "For starters, complexity. If you want to cover your entire body with it, assuming automatic release, placement and direction of each plate will be hard to determine and sustain." Judging by her reaction, she didn't go that far into planning yet. "We can worry about that later. There are ways to avoid that problem. Let's walk back to the basics, because you will need them the most. You see, the reason Belle is so fast is that she can fortify her own body, using influence to strengthen tissue, move limbs, move fluids, and so on. You have a very well-built and trained body. With proper technique, you'll be fine." He complimented her, while also making her strangely uncomfortable. "Then there is reaction time. For an average human, your reaction time is almost perfect." "What do you mean by average human?" "You are not average. Your body is capable of so much more. Changes in your body are not only adaptations, but influence also increase the capacity of your tissues greatly. Faster information transfer, more energy efficient, better heat management and distribution. With your talent and proper training, you should be able to surpass her when it comes to speed eventually." "So, you think I have a chance?" "In 3 weeks? No, maybe 1 in a million." "That's comforting," sighed Amy. "At least tell me, how do you know all that? I didn't want to admit it for the longest time, but your knowledge is truly impressive," she asked, while simultaneously apologizing. "When you think about influence in general, what comes to your mind?" Superpowers, control of elements, even magic. Why?" "While some people get their influence by design, most people gain it by themselves. Strength of character, powerful desires, motivation, and drive. To put it simply, the world responds to your feelings and gives you a tool to accomplish your goals. For you it was heat, energy, power. I was never good at learning. I tried as hard as I could, but with barely average effects. In a weird twist of fate, my power is in learning. It didn't make anything easier, just gave me more opportunities and an actual goal." "Then how did you defeat Bale?" asked the redhead, visibly confused. There had to be a trick if he did that without any powers. "You are not listening. Everything can be broken down to simple information. Electric impulses steering your body, tensing of your skin. With some practice, I was able to read her moves just by observing the surrounding area. Then it's just calculating everything and finding best outcome. Once again, Yuki saw Amy getting lost in her thoughts. Don't think about this too much. For me it's easier that way. You will do better by recognizing the pattern and quickly choosing the proper response. Okay, I think I understand. Still a bit overwhelmed, but she's motivated to do her best. Her passion for growth and self-perfection was burning bright. How do we train then? What do I need to do to be the best I can? Said Amy, with a confident grin. We have 3 weeks and 3 main areas that need to get better. Quicker thinking, pattern recognition, and hand-to-eye coordination. But I'm already great with 2 of those, she objected, eager to get better as fast as she could. I'm getting a bit too fast. You are, in your current form. You will get stronger, you will get faster, and so you will need to control those impulses faster. Cutting it like I want, at least 3-fold, will put you in an entirely new body to some degree. He stopped for a minute, thinking about what exercise would be random enough to make her think, but also produce enough variance to be repeatable. There is also an issue of combining it with your power. It will be a short, but very intensive and hard journey. I know, and I'm ready, Amy replied, without any doubt. Yuki hesitated to show her what he could do, as it would breach his deal, but on the other hand, Bale already did that. Okay, let's start. Still standing in the middle, he picked up a slightly bigger stone and presented it in his open palm. You will explode this stone with your influence. Count all the pieces before they reach anything. Then, after the first shard reaches the ground or a tree, you will reassemble it in order from the smallest piece to the biggest one. That's crazy! Why is that? He asked, as a flash of white light blinded her. It was instantaneous, she barely noticed it, but what lasted longer was the effect that lingered. I just did it. What? How? You don't have any influence! She shouted, but her voice didn't escape past the first tree line. You know what I can do, and yet you are still stuck on that. Lightly disappointed, but not unexpected. I can show you, but it will be very uncomfortable. Show me! I can handle it! Let me explain. Even though she was sure, the devil was in the details. To make you see and experience it, I will need to enhance your abilities, your mind, and your body. I will not touch you in any way, but in essence... He stopped, letting the context fill in the blank, but seeing her not get it, Yuki continued. I will have to influence everything that is you, every tissue, every process, even your brain, increasing its functions. While it's not my aim to dig into your past or your present, I will know it as a consequence. You can do that? She shrieked, covering herself like that would hide anything. I can, but I don't. I respect people's privacy as long as they don't pose any threat. Calm and composed, he wasn't ashamed or even paid it any attention. Amy understood. This is a big secret that would ruin him if he let anyone know. I don't get any gratification from that, I can assure you. It's just a consequence of my power. I don't like this, she replied. It wasn't unusual in her field to get touched by accident, but it sounded different, weirdly intimate and like a betrayal of Miku. You are thinking about it too much. There is nothing physical about it. I will just know your body and thoughts as you do. And betrayal of Miku? Maybe. But it's not like she owns your body or mine. Yuki stopped. Feels like he is persuading her a little too much. But it's needed. If he could only tell her about his plan, everything would make sense. He's not going to push Miku into something she doesn't want. But everyone else is fair game. She needs strong people by her side, and his involvement is becoming less important each day. So you can read minds too, huh? I just told you I can, but it's written all over your face, he responded sharply, spitting blood. Okay, let's do this. Amy finally agreed. But not a single word to Miku about it. I can't agree to that. If she asks, I will tell her. Cold denial of her request, but it was one of his remaining virtues. If she is ashamed or scared of saying that, he won't force her to. But keeping secret is never healthy for you, for your friends, or your family. Fine, then let's do the... She couldn't even finish the sentence when her body was hijacked by Yuki. I can't move! What's going on? She thought to herself. What I said is happening, he responded through thoughts. I can hear you, but you are not moving. Amy, at the speed we are moving right now, sound waves move too slowly to communicate. I'm using the influence to translate electric impulses into thoughts in your brain directly. You cannot move for the same reason. Trying to use normal muscles won't work. Everything going on is through the influence. I'm moving oxygen and other elements through your body with it, so you don't pass away. He finished speaking and presented the exercise once again. Rock exploding, piece hitting the ground, and then he saws through all the rubble and put it back together. I can see it! She yelled with excitement. You're amazing! How come you never showed it to anyone? Somehow, his power ended halfway through her sentence, and she started to speak again. Yuki collapsed to the ground, vomiting a massive amount of blood. Yet there was no grimace of discomfort on his face, not even a glimpse of pain. Yuki! She ran towards him. Are you okay? I'm fine. He stood up as if nothing happened and dusted off his knees. This is partially why I don't use my powers. That's horrible! Are you sure you want to do this? She asked with a mixture of fear and pity. I asked you on a whim to bring Bale down a peg, but if that's how, I don't care if you can stand against Bale. I need you to protect Miku if I'm unable to. He stopped. He stopped and started to explain his real motives. I never lied when I said I want you to grow. You, Miku, and maybe other people later will help the rest go forward. The world is brutal, unfair, and uncertain. You will need to be strong and have strong people with you to get by. You know I'm strong. Leave it to me. She responded strongly, but he saw through it. Her past accident, where she broke someone's femur because they were mismatched in training, and her using the wrong technique. Years of being bullied for being too strong, and her fear of not controlling herself ever again. I know, he replied with a warm and reassuring smile. Are you ready then? Yes, she shouted as Yuki went away and sat under a nearby tree. Okay then. First try to regain control of your body. Remember everything I told you. You need to do everything yourself. Transport, movement, thoughts. Feel the influence and command it. He closed his eyes, leaned back, and the world around them started to slow down again. And don't worry, I'm here. Nothing will go wrong, and you will not cause me any harm, even if you try. Amy tried to breathe to calm herself, but being unable to move, she instantly started to panic. His words quickly started to echo through her mind. Don't worry, nothing will go wrong. You will not hurt me. She quickly regained a bit of her composure and tried to focus on the assignment. Yuki oversaw her progress carefully, while also noting her dangerous, sudden change in attitude towards him. He said what he had to. He said what he had to get through to her, but it was what she wanted to hear. Slightly unfortunate, but history will even out its course. Jesus, my tongue is getting twisted. That's not good. Almighty Bruce, the best movie ever. Miku woke up early today. Stumbling out of bed, she shuffled slowly towards the kitchenette, where she turned the kettle on. Preparing the rest of her morning coffee, she drowned in thoughts. As much as she wanted to disappear from view, he still cared about her, as so did she. Pushing against those feelings with every kernel of strength she had left, yet they persisted. Even worse, Yuki was the only thing on her mind today. Was it jealousy? Or was her mind trying to tell her something? Something she had been looking for a while now, but denied every time. Pouring hot water over the filter slowly, she made a cup of coffee far too strong for her, so she had to split it in two and dilute it with water and milk. Ever since they broke up, nothing tastes the same. And the realization of how little she knew came in. Tea or coffee Yuki made was always perfect, while hers is always bitter. The food she makes is always good enough, but never as tasty as it used to be. Going to the window and splitting the curtains, the light of the rising sun filled the room. Cup in hand, she basked in the warm rays, while another realization hit her. Yuki. This is what she'd been looking for. To her it meant everything, and while she tried to deny it, maybe it was the key to finally control her power. Delving deeper into this line of thought, she connected thoughts to one another, and it made sense. He was calm, gentle, interesting, funny, warm, but also stood by anyone who needed help, wasn't afraid of danger, maybe even stupid in how helpful he wanted to be. She chuckled, while the corners of her lips started to lift in a delicate smile. Reminiscent of the past, maybe she did make the wrong choice. Even if so, now what? She could go apologize, and he would take her back because that's who he is. But it wouldn't change anything. It's less about what choice she made and more about what she caused in the end. Living with that, acting as if nothing happened, being seen as a villainess fits her better. Like she would deserve this as her punishment. Again, too fast, my bad. I'm really trying to my best. But it's a force of habit that I cannot break. What? I should be eating food soon. But then, once again, her reasoning fell short. She wasn't punishing herself, she was punishing them both. While she thought she was taking responsibility for what she caused, all the weight was pushed onto Yuki. Exactly as she predicted, he didn't... Exactly as she predicted, he didn't resent her for that. It was ultimately his fight, and she had every right to back out. All of that made her double down and loop in her self-blame. At this point, even if she was willing to talk and accept reality, even if Yuki would share some of the weight with her, it was too late. It was no longer about them, and as sad as it would make both of them, the steps Yuki had to take were non-reversible. In fact, the bomb was ready and armed. Just waiting for the right moment. Leaving her coffee halfway full on the table, she quickly went back to her room and buried her face in the pillow. Trying to go back to sleep, she experienced a new kind of ache deep inside, something she hadn't felt before. A few hours had passed as she twisted and turned in bed, unable to fall asleep until she decided to face the day, not having any plans made before, but also not feeling like sitting alone anymore. She decided to ask Jane if she wanted to hang out. A few messages back and forth, and 3 of them with Maria had plans. With Gale missing once again, Bale was left alone. He does what he does. Meh, she thought, not interested in the slightest about his thing. While the voice she heard got quieter, almost like a whisper now, it was still begging for help. Maybe it wasn't Yuki after all, but she also knew it was him. First come first serve. She dismissed it because at this point she found someone interesting enough to stick around. She found someone interesting enough to stick around. Even if it wasn't him, she genuinely built a connection with Yuki. I wonder what he's doing now, she pondered, while also fighting the urge to disturb the practice. People around her were so pathetic that she was bored out of her mind without any challenges. To her, it really seemed like Yuki understood her, creating an opponent for her, making her work on someone else to see a different world. Really, things could have been different if they had met soon earlier. Please, no more, panted Amy, exhausted. You're giving up already. We barely started. No, I cannot. I feel broken. I can't move my legs, my arms. Nothing works anymore. It's fine. You did great for your first time, complimented her Yuki, as he released his hold of her body. As the sun started to set, Amy fell to the ground, gasping heavily with sweat pouring off of her. Again, too fast. As the sun started to set, Amy fell to the ground, gasping heavily while sweat pouring off of her. Thank you. It was good to hear someone's warm words after today. 12 hours spent with almost no progress were disheartening. All she achieved was the ability to barely breathe and maybe move a finger. The progress was unbelievably slow, and that's with his help too. I would love to take a bath right now. Go for it, said Yuki as he took all the tiredness and pain away. Wow, you're amazing, she replied as she quickly sprung up onto her feet. Is there anything you cannot do? Not everything can be fixed with influence, he said blankly. It wasn't cold, it just lacked any emotion behind it. Don't touch me, he continued as Amy tried to help him out. I've strained myself a lot today, and I'm trying to deal with it. It's like a bomb. If you are not careful, I don't know how much of me would be left. This sentence clearly terrified Amy. You didn't cause it. It was my choice. Don't feel guilty. You say that, but... If you want someone to blame, make it the system that forced me into this mess. Don't be sorry. Think how you can change the world to make it a better place. That's fair. She laughed awkwardly. There is a spring nearby. I'm not inviting you with me, but if there is a chance we could still talk while I bathe. How long do you think you'll stay like this? Second. Yeah, I'm not back. Probably a while. And of course we can. Compared to this training, it's nothing. He reassured her, calmly. We are trying not to delve too deep into how far he had to push himself for it to work. The metaphor of the bomb wasn't an accident. If disturbed, his body would explode violently. The only thing keeping him alive was the careful destruction and rebuilding process he had to maintain. A while was also an understatement, as this process would take well into Sunday. Amy got into the hot water, and they talked for a while about nothing. I hate the phlegm in my throat. I cannot do anything about it. It's so bad. So, she started slowly. What is your goal? Finally dropping the question. What drives you to work so hard for everyone? Yuki didn't respond for a while, so she continued. You already know. I want to get stronger, closer to perfection, but I also never want to hurt someone by accident ever again. Great power is a huge responsibility and requires a lot of work, but you? I cannot even believe how far apart we are. I once thought you were useless. I took your kindness for weakness. I'm sorry. It's fine. Unsure if he should disclose certain parts, he quickly calculated his options. I'm not going to be around forever. I want to leave the world a better place, one person at a time. With only good people around, I won't have to worry about Miko's safety anymore. I see. Expecting a similar answer, Amy wasn't surprised. It was you, wasn't it? What do you mean? When Seth attacked us, it was your golem that stopped him, right? Maybe. Do you know what happened to him? She asked, but also worried she wouldn't like the answer. I have a rough idea, but it's nothing you need to know. But it's nothing you need to worry about. He calmed her down, while not giving away any answers. Truth being told, Seth and his friends were gone before they even came into that alley. All Yuki did was stop an assault, and 3 Waters imprisoned behind. Fair. Maybe not knowing everything was for the better, she thought. How about Miko? Amy asked another uncomfortable question. What about her? You keep talking about her, doing things with her in mind. Have you thought about trying again? She continued, fully relaxed, while the rising moon reflected off the water. Thinking about it won't make it happen. You clearly care about her, and in her own way, I'm sure she still cares about you too. Things are complicated. Because of Bale? Because of the cards I was dealt. Yuki quickly responded. Talking with him made Amy feel very uncanny. It was a serious topic, yet there was no emotion behind anything he said. Miko, Bale, anyone else. I have no time to spare anymore for something like that. You say that, yet you sit idly under a tree and talk with a naked woman under a night sky. He didn't respond for a while. Weighing his options, Yuki finally broke the silence. What makes you think I'm not doing anything right now? For a while now, he had no need for any technology anymore. He fed on raw information. Any intelligence that was locked in this space was his for the taking, and by using it to breach into other storages, the world was like an open book. Yet, no matter how deep he dug, the one place he looked for was nowhere to be found. Oh. Ever since I got my taste back after years of smoking, I feel like eating spicy food is enjoyable again. But then I also feel like spicy food destroys my vocals to some degree. Why are you not opening your mouth when I'm speaking? I have a lot to learn still. Take your time. You have your whole life ahead of you. I don't recommend you practice what we did today alone. Day to day, you should focus on strengthening your mind. Will do, Amy replied, and as she walked out the water, she dried herself with a towel. Amy replied, and as she walked out of the water, she dried herself with a towel. I'm going to head back now. Do you want me to bring you something, or maybe stay with you for a while? She dressed herself and started towards the clearing. Not gonna lie, I have no idea what to do now. There is nothing I can do to help you, but I also feel like you would do better without me bothering you. You would also be more comfortable in your home. Thank you. She came by him, half the bow awkwardly, then waved and left. It didn't take long for his peaceful silence to break once again. I don't think I will ever understand why you do so much for them, said the silent but sweet voice of a small blonde girl who sat behind the same tree. I think you're on the right path. Asking questions is a great first step. He replied with a strange warmth in his voice, something unnatural for him nowadays. Maybe, maybe not. People don't change because you give them a chance. They need to be told what to do, controlled, through fear and power. Otherwise they are just bloodthirsty, vicious animals. To which he didn't respond. I appreciate your effort, but our worlds are just too different. Wish I could see it through your eyes. You don't want that. Trust me. I do, repeated Bale with strong resolve. We both suffer differently, but still we see something entirely different. I don't get it. You are not dumb, but you act so very blind. Am I? Yuki wondered. Maybe we see the same thing, have the same goal, but a different path to reach it. So what do you want to do now? I'd say I'll wait and see. Things are getting interesting. He smiled, like he was just joking around, while playing a very grim game. You know, I'm in no position to resist anything right now. Very vulnerable and helpless. And you think it's an accident I kept my distance? Where is the fun in that if you're not resisting? Don't want to set off too many red flags for Gale either. She shook her head. Or maybe there's something else that you want, Yuki chuckled. Doesn't mean I won't play with you and tease you. You are fun to be around. She smiled brightly through her eyes. Do you think he would do something if it were him right now instead of you? Who knows? She replied, like she was humming. Even though the talk ended, they sat the rest of the night in a comfortable silence. It was warm, in a cold fall night, and even though both of them stood on the edges of a blade, there was evident trust between them. While being on opposing sides, they are both helping one another to the best of their abilities. Maybe Bale's mission wasn't as selfless as she thought. Maybe she also wanted to be saved, to have someone care for her once in her life, to have someone protect her above everything else. Maybe they aren't that different as she thought. Perhaps the voice she heard all this time, the voice she didn't hear for so long, it sounded strange and distant, was of her own. Why not? Both can be true at the same time, or even more. Saturday turned into Sunday, when both of them walked back, and soon Monday came. Normal lessons flew by, as students spent more and more time thinking about their own development. This Monday, even Miku released her power, but it wasn't able to feel the pillar Again. This Monday, even Miku released her power, but wasn't able to fill the pillar entirely. With Bale's help, it wasn't an issue though. A couple of days later, she could practice using her powers properly. Days passed quickly, as every student finally could stand their ground to some degree. Knowing basics and experimenting with their own techniques brought Miss Richards some troubles. But it wasn't something she couldn't overcome, with silent help from Yuki. Every Saturday, Amy spent time with Yuki in the forest, training hard. She made fast progress after the first practice, but it was still not quick enough. Pushing herself during the lesson, she caused many problems for her teacher, but any objections were muffled as the instructor was very pleased with her development. Last week of the training, as the class grew adept and comfortable using the powers, Miss Richards split the lesson in half, teaching them strategy, recognizing the terrain, landmarks, observing your surroundings, moving safely and shortly about different possible objectives, extracting data, rescue, search and destroy. Many were not interested in the slightest, but testing their knowledge later, every student got a passing grade. Would that be enough? She wondered. Last Friday before special exercises ended, and while most students could rest for the weekend, the duel was set to take place on Saturday. Everyone gathered with excitement, wondering who would win. During the training, Bale didn't show anything special, but Amy got attention from every side. That and the fight being 2 versus 4. Cool, yeah. Again, shorter part. I feel like it was great to read. It wasn't too difficult. I feel like the... yeah. Again, like the entire part is was better to read as of now. But we have a few things like that are planned, and I do wonder if it's a spoiler or not. But I feel like the development of the story and characters is actually pretty well written, if I say so myself. So as far as Miku's development is concerned, like if you see here, like this is the absolute confirmation that she doesn't know how to cook, how to make anything in kitchen. Like Amy called her before, she's the princess. She doesn't know anything. While she still portrays everything like she can do everything, she's the best at it. She fails at certain things because they were provided to her through her entire life. Maria noticed it that Yuki is still doing the lunches for her. Like this is the they are eating the same things because Yuki is using the same not supplies. Okay, my brain is blanking out today. Yuki is making the lunches, they are using the same ingredients because Yuki is doing them, different dishes and everything, but still he is doing them for both of them. It's something that Miku doesn't want to admit. And she realized at this point that she made a mistake, but still she, instead of taking responsibility, she still decided to pretend like it's better this way. Instead of taking responsibility for her action, then she still goes on treating it like what? Like it is what it is. And then this part is very interesting because, like, as far as I know, people in younger ages don't really know what love is, and sometimes older people also don't know what love is. Love is weird. It's not really something that you can know or explain. This is a prime example. They were together because not entirely because of the love. Well, Yuki was in love, she wasn't. It was more of a convenient to hang around, to spend time with her and be together in the same place. There are too many benefits to pass it. They also never did anything with it, so she doesn't have to make any sacrifices. Like for her, it was just like being friends with some extra benefits. And I'm not talking about dirty things, I'm talking about meals, romantic gestures, gifts, help with other stuff, and commitment, and so on. And at this point in the story, she finally realizes her own emotions. Like she understood, like, why is she thinking about him so much? The heart, new kind of ache deep inside. It's the heartache. It's her heart is I'd say in pain, but it is what it is sometimes. Like Jesus, not good though. Like her heart is struggling. because she never. This is the first time she's experiencing heartache, the feeling of being alone, the loneliness of broken heart, I guess. I know there's probably nothing more here. Then Amy learns a bit more about Yuki. I can see it, everything. I'm fine, that's horrible. Blah 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 blah. Where it was, you know, here. This is a confirmation. This is also another confirmation, like when Yuki explained everything precisely about the influence that some were given it by design. So some people are chosen by something else to get their influence. Other people get it by themselves. Amy, her entire fiery persona, being hot-headed and everything like that, still training from the very young age and all of that, it rocked the world to give her the red influence, which really works well with her hot temper. And so did Amy, and so did Miku, who was academically gifted and could probably learn everything with minimal problems, which is why she has the diamond power. Because that's like symbol of her utility, like she can adjust quickly to any situation and survive and be there. Doesn't really, it's not shown in her character, but it will be shown. She's always a center of attention, I'd say. It doesn't have to be shown, it's what your, I guess, fate would be to some degree. And then there is Yuki, who got information, I'd say, or learning, as he said it. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but the empty influence is a form of influence, as he proved it. He can control influence, like he does everything. I think it was said before about him being a catalyst before. 50 times back-to-back catalyst before. But yeah, it is it right now confirms that he can also control that influence to some degree. And Amy is blockheaded. She doesn't get it at first, and I'm not really sure if she got it in the end. Yeah, but to some degree, I think she got the message. At least she knows that she is at least 3rd or 4th in the academy right now. There is the moment with Bale. Because I don't think I explain anywhere what the voice is. At least not for a long time, but the voice could be anything. It could be Yuki pleading for help. It could be the inner voice of Bale that she ignored for her entire life. And while she has a possibility of being saved, the voice actually spoke to her. Like the fate guided her towards Yuki, so she can be saved too. It's as was it said, where is it? I'm not gonna spend too much. Yeah, here. Was of her own. Why not? Both can be true at the same time, or even more. Which says that it can be Yuki, it can be Belle, it can be both, or even more at the same time. And to some degree it will be possibly explained later. Because there is someone else asking for help. But yeah. And yeah, what do we talk about yet? The time skip. Unfortunately, I could of it, but being lonely, being alone writing it, I really had no idea how to do it. I wanted to do something more exciting, and mm, like if this ever get adapted into anime, I can see the training montage being here. Like this time skip and everything can be summarized in an episode or something. Or yeah, but for the book, it doesn't really provide anything. You can show some struggles and everything, but the main area that I already wanted to show is there. Like AB growing, Miko discovering herself, her problems, and all of that. That's the main area of expertise that I wanted to focus, and I feel it pretty well. Hmm. uh, Gale being shown as a problem here. Because he's an enigma. Like, Yuki and Bale really start a friendly, weird, and awkward relationship. It's friendship-esque, I guess. Uh, but we don't see anything more about Gale. Like, they are still mentioning it. To some degree, Bale is afraid of him, or concerned about him. And even Yuki asks her about it. What is going on in between there, we don't really know. We will know in a few more chapters. But yeah, he's not really focused because he's quite mysterious. Like, there is no real point in showing someone do something that's meant to be a mystery, you know? If it's not a main character, and I said character, not cast, because Gale is main cast, but he's a non-main character. Like, is there a distinction even? Huh. As I mean, he's not the main point of the story. It's a story about Miko and Yuki. So what Gale does beyond the scene is, it will be explained when it is. Okay, I'm talking about weird different things. Anyway, it doesn't matter. uh, Again, I haven't planned this out yet, but I will quickly prepare this thing. Unless my PC burns. If the stream shuts down right now, you know what happened. I am actually absolutely destroyed. Papa. Right side should be good for the model here. I feel like there will be less. Okay. Perspective was done. Mhm. Hello, hello. Oh, because it's the oh. Yeah, I'm absolutely not prepared. Give me a hot minute. Audio capture, audio. Huh? No, that's not what I want. Application audio capture. It does capture, so. Huh? Huh? Oh, mic is. application audio capture, but this is so weird. I have no idea if the sound works right now. Part 10. Let's try to work this in. Specific window. Does this work? Why it doesn't work? Huh. Hmm. Okay, I got notification from YouTube somewhere. Give me a second. No, it's not zero. Hmm. Why isn't this working? Add source. Display capture. No display. Display is bad. This is so weird. Oh, here we go. And here I am. So basically, this is DaVinci. This is what I've been working with. First of all, I need to change the frame rate to 60. Save. Yep. Okay, why I have... Oh, irritating. Yeah, I have too many things open and everything is everywhere. First, we find our recording, which is this one. Up into the file, we go into edit, put this here. Like, this is the entire the process. I don't think it actually changes too much in the beginning. So every bit of everything should be absolutely the same. Let's normalize audio level to YouTube. That's how the YouTube. Why? Oh yeah, because I started in a Firelight. I don't think I am using anymore. Maybe dialog processor I will add with male voiceover. Because you don't even see that, which is weird. Oi. Yeah, because audio capture. Okay. Ah, I don't understand why it's not working. Yes. You're not even connected to anything at source application. Hey. This makes no sense. Hey, looks like I cannot do this because the scene is broken in OBS. I would have to restart it to fix it. Or maybe we can go here. Add a salt. Hmm. So, hmm. I guess that works. We can disable this, and then we move myself a bit down. Okay, one test more. Why do you capture this? Jesus. You shouldn't be able to capture this. What are you... Oh yeah, because the audio capture, and it's not the Technology is too hard for me. Oh, because it's... Oh, yeah, anyway, I have everything set up here. Then on DaVinci Resolve, we go back, we select our track, clip, audio, ripple, delete silence. 25 is decent, I feel like. 20 frames post tail, minimum to strip 2, and let's give 15 to head. 10 to head. 10 before. Do I need to crossfade? I don't think I need to crossfade. And now we wait while my PC explodes. Yes, I will settle it later. No, this is not. Why? There is another audio capture. Okay, this will be risky. Yeah. You go under me. Cool, yeah. Anyway, this is how everything operates right now, and I have to be very careful because I have everything on this screen. Screen capture, so it's very risky. But then we go into effects, titles, and text plus, which is something that we do. It's something that I have to prepare all the time. Actually, microphone. Text plus in DaVinci is very nice. Red outline, base will be my color. You go here, enable shading, shade also my color. pick. We almost have the text block wrap with height to max because it basically makes the entire thing very problematic later on. Reset goes here, so up it will go here. Yep, go slightly like this. Zone 5 will be fine, should be well enough. And you can test how the subtitles work. You can just spam it and then you will see how many of everything you will get, right? And then you just shrink it because things are small. 22, let's make it 10 frames. 20 frames. Okay. Control C to copy everything. Yeah. And then you clean up. And just like that, you go through the entirety of 618 clips, cleaning up everything, removing what is there and what you want, checking if everything is correct. Cleaning up some artifacts if you find them. That's too long, so I have to split in half. Fully occupied, we settle here, move data center and here. I'm sure AI would be a lot faster at this, but also I don't think AI does Text Plus. And Text Plus is amazing because, as I have here, I will show you later. Let me get to the first. Let me get to this first dialogue part. If you are wondering why it takes me several days to do this, it's a massive investment, let's say. It is a massive investment of time to time everything, to add the subtitles, and yeah, it takes a while. Literally, it's mind-numbing. It's boring. I feel like the shorter subtitles also work a lot better. They are more readable. I have no idea. Maybe it's not even the most efficient as I want. But again, the AI, because if you bought the entire thing, there is timeline. No, AI tools. Like if you go. In AI tools, you have like AI subtitles that can generate everything. But then with my coming with my kind of thick accent, might be actually kind of difficult for it to recognize, but then also it will be a normal subtitles, because you can go at subtitle track and then you have subtitles which are very, very basic, and I wouldn't recommend using those in per se. They are great for subtitles, but with those subtitles you can moved the entire text, you can edit it, everything. You can add video transitions to it. See, there is an entire transition. You cannot do that with normal files and everything, and it also has impressive amount of blue border. You can add this one, you can add element 5, I have no idea what it is, 6, 7, 8. The customization is massive, and I maybe not enjoy it as much as let's replace it. As much as I feel like the adds the customization well. Like the customization, it adds a bit of character. It adds a bit of character to things. At least I hope so. Would add that. This is exactly what I will be doing for the next 10 to 15 hours, if you are wondering. Let's cut this a bit so it's... Sorry, did you wait? Launch ship. Pick. And we are here, and we are marking red because we know now this is what Amy is speaking. So we can add color later. You extend this to the end, add markers, and then you don't really have to do this now. I prefer to do this later, after I'm done throughout the entire story, but clip color, something that is resembling what you want to do, go to shading, red outline, change to Amy's red, so this one, black shadow, this, and shoop, we have text. Changes color. Same with Yuki. Now we go here, clip color, go into chocolate, shading, we change outline to be brown, shadow is darker brown, and there is another difference here. I hope it really does bring out a bit of the character of everything, and the more dialogue you have in your actual audiobook, the more you actually have to deal with everything, and it becomes more and more complicated. So this is actually perfect because you have Miku, Bale, Yuki, Amy, and one part of Miss Richard, so that's gonna be 4 dialogues. And the clips already breaking in, it's 33, and there is 600 more audio clips. It's gonna take a while. And yeah, this is the base of what I'm doing. Then after I'm done with everything, I just go here, copy and paste it all around. And then I really wanted to switch a window, but I don't know which window is under, so I cannot do that. I locked myself, absolutely. And there are more, and then just copy pasting text into this. I feel like it's more efficient to go part by part and just automatically fill everything in one by one instead of doing everything at the same time. I don't know, I would love to hear someone's comment about it. Tell me that I'm wasting hours of my time, that they have an absolutely spiffing idea and way of doing that, which would be very cool. I would appreciate any help I could get from this. But anyway, this is what I wanted to. Oh, yeah, you go away. Remove. I don't need you anymore. Why there two out? Why is there audio capture? Jesus, everything, bro. You are done. Mm. Yeah, anyway, that's it for today. Friday I will be doing this the entire day, so I wouldn't expect a stream because that's who I am. I don't know. I feel like until the end of this week I don't have any more planned. Maybe starting next week we could actually do a week of streaming where we do some assets for things or try to work on animation and such. And we will see. Maybe working some more on 2.0. Yeah, anyway, thank you very much and see you later.